Hey guys, Charles Van Mediva, MaxVALoan.com. I'm here with a special guest, Terrell Wright, U.S. Air Force veteran, realtor at Coldwell Banker, and go-getter. Yeah. And you got out of the military about a year ago, huh? Roughly.
A little bit less than a year, actually. So
you're taking your service to the military community and people and bringing it over to the real estate side.
Yes, sir.
And how's that going?
So far, so good.
Yeah.
I like the fact that I get to pass on information that I wish was told to me when I was active duty. Things probably would be a lot different.
Really?
But yeah, I like going out and just giving people information. It's good to give them the information, what they do with it, so on.
So they can make wise decisions.
Yes, sir.
And with that said, today's topic is kind of a hot topic. A lot of controversial communication going on out there because some people are saying, oh my God, the war's going to end. You don't buy a house. The prices are going to crash. This and that. Are you hearing any of that?
Every day. Every day. With the interest rates going up as drastically as they have been, everybody's getting, that little fright, that stage fright of buying a home right now.
Yes.
But what I'm trying to show people is that this time is probably the perfect time to buy a home. This is when a lot of deals are made.
Why? How?
Because with the rise of interest rates, home values start coming down. So this is where you start seeing, sellers that are in a bind that have to sell their home coming $50,000 off, $100,000 off because, the situation. So what I'm trying to tell my clients is get with a real estate expert. That's why we're here. That's what we do. We're here to make those and find those deals for you.
It's an interesting comment that you made. Rates go up, house prices come down. That's interesting because if that's true, and I believe it is,
yes, sir.
And we've seen that in the last 6 months, I don't have exact numbers in front of us, but potentially a buyer could buy a house at 6%, 6.5%, and have a payment that's not as crazy as you might think compared to buying that same house at a much higher price at a lower interest rate.
Exactly.
Is that the concept that you're talking about?
It pretty much plays out each other, plays against each other. So you can buy a house at a lower rate.
A lower interest rate.
A lower interest rate, but the price of that home is probably going to be a lot higher. Now, if you can get the house at a higher interest rate with a lower price, and you can brunt that interest rate for 2-3 years, you'll be able to refi into a lower rate and you have paid a lower price for the home. It's a win-win.
What you're saying
you just got to think long term.
Right. What you're saying is an interest rate is not forever.
No, sir.
It's not like a diamond.
No, sir.
I keep hearing this phrase all over Facebook. How's it go? Date the rate.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that. Marry the house, date the rate.
Marry the house and date the rate.
So you're having these conversations, and what kind of objections are you hearing from your, not just fellow military clients, but anybody? What kind of objections are you hearing from these people?
Well, once I lay it out for them, I don't really run into any objections. There's still that fear of, I'm still kind of scared, first-time home buyer, jitters. But once you lay out the information for them, and let them make their own educated decision, it's pretty much still deal.
There's an interesting chart that I showed. I was up in Lemoore, California at the Naval Air Station a couple months ago, and we were talking to some sailors, and I showed a chart in that class, if you would, and everyone's jaw dropped like, oh my God. And here it is on your screen. I don't know if you guys can see this on your screen, but if you look at the house price index, which is really a measure of values in the U.S., going back the last 31 years, it's quite interesting that values have continued to go up even in the midst of recessions and increases in interest rate. What do you make of that, Terrell?
Well, like I tell my clients, the greatest transfer of wealth from one generation to another is real estate, by far. You want to leave your kids something, leave them some property.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Well said. And so looking at this chart, obviously, what is that, October 06, 07, 07, 08, things began to dip. And I've had people look at that and go, oh, look, you know what? Values don't always go up. Yeah, they do go in cycles, but there was an artificial, exceptional series of events that happened in 07, 08, 09 that were probably unlikely to repeat because there was a lot of unscrupulous lending and people were buying way beyond their means. And they're not getting qualified, and the whole house of cards came crashing down in 07, 08. Do you feel, as a real estate professional, Terrell, do you feel like that's an artificial example that doesn't really apply to us here and now?
Definitely. It definitely doesn't apply to us just because of the way lending is done nowadays. There's a lot more rules. It's a lot more stringent. And the one thing I tell my clients is do not purchase a home beyond your means. That's what happened in 2006, 7, 8. People were buying $700,000 homes, working at KFC, not having a steady income. You know, you can't do that. It's just not a good place.
It's almost as if the pendulum swung to the other extreme.
Exactly.
I mean, we don't need a blood sample now to get you loan approved. I mean, let's be honest. It is a whole different ballgame, right? We're looking at your income. We're really dissecting it.
At least 2 years.
At least 2 years, right? And we're looking at your reserves, and the automated systems that are behind the underwriting are so conservative that is it fair to say that it's unlikely that someone's going to get put in a situation that they're unable to afford? Is that unlikely, would you say?
Nowadays, very slim, especially if you have a good agent. I would never put a client in a home that I know that would strap them thin and have them living check to check like that. Yeah. Because
so
I've done it.
You've seen that happen.
Exactly.
So what we're saying, guys, is a higher interest rate environment doesn't need to be a deterrent to buy a house.
Exactly.
Right?
There's never a bad time to buy a home.
Never. That's a powerful statement.
Never a bad
back
time.
Back that up, if you would. How are you going to back that up? Somebody oppose that statement.
If somebody was to oppose that statement, I would ask them, what do they think the greatest transfer of wealth from one generation to another? And then I would also ask them, would you rather pay a high rent or a high mortgage?
Wow. Looking at what you're saying, I'm sitting there and I can't help but look and think, if somebody bought a house in 07, 08, when technically the market was crashing, yeah, they lost value for a little while. I mean, look at this chart right in front of you. But guess what happened? It went right back up.
Came back up.
And so the old saying, right? Don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait.
100%.
And it's not a unique saying. I've heard that for 100%. So long. Yeah. But you buy something and you sit on it. Is it fair to say, Terrell, that if you buy something and sell it quick and get out, then the chances are you're not giving it time to really build some wealth?
No, not. 3 to 5 years is what you're looking at.
Okay.
3 to 5 years.
In closing, do you have anything special to tell your military comrades? You yourself are a military veteran, so you know very well how the VA loan works and some of the challenges that our military buyers face in this type of market. What are you saying to those guys and girls?
What I'm telling them right now is your VA benefits and your use of your VA loan is probably the best leverage you can have right now.
Okay.
When having to come out, no money down, it's starting to turn into a buyer's market. If you have a sustained income, what you do, I mean, you're in the military, you're not getting out, and you can rut 3 to 5 years of high interest rates. I wouldn't even say 3 to 5 years. I'm thinking more like 2. You can get a really good deal out here. Really good deal.
How did they get a hold of you, Terrell? I mean, you're out there. You obviously can help people buy and sell homes.
Yes, sir.
How does somebody get a hold of you?
My direct cell is 951-850-0097. I'm on Instagram at Terrell Sells, and also my email is terrell.wright@cbrealty.com.
Thanks for your time, Terrell. Thanks for your service.
Thank you for having me.
Terrell's an awesome guy. I've worked with him quite a bit, and I can tell you he'll take good care of you. And as he said, he's not going to push you into a situation that's going to wind up, turning out bad for you in terms of losing your home or not being affordable. He's going to do the right thing.
Yes, sir.
And he particularly cares for our military community because he is one himself. So reach out to him. My name's Charles Van Mediva, maxvaloan.com. Look me up. I'd love to work with you, whether you're a military pilot or not. And we'll see you on the next show.